Atomic Monsoon.
Welcome to the Monsoon.
Welcome back to Atomic Monsoon, everybody.
Hello, welcome back.
Bueno.
Don't worry, we didn't die. The ghost didn't get us.
No, I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
So that was last week, though.
That
What we
was
ta-
last week.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, so you know how normally we talk about things that are coming up ahead?
Yes.
Well, this week I thought it'd be fun if we talked about stuff from the past.
That works.
Talking about Back to the Future today?
No, not that far back.
Okay.
So Phoenix Fan Fusion, our local comic convention,
yes.
that's coming up next week, and
It is.
That'd be fun if we talked about some of our fun past convention experiences.
I am totally down for this.
All right.
But before we get into that, I want to say thanks to our friends at Def M Records and the Def M Records All Stars for supplying our intro music.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen.
And if you would like to
And
see the guitarist for our theme music, which quite frankly is most of it, Dana Duashed, he will be performing with the Saturn III this coming Friday, May 24th. I said Saturday last week, I was mistaken. The Saturn III will be performing at the Phoenix Film Bar on the 24th after Comic-Con. I believe it's at 10 o'clock at night.
Rockin'.
So come on down. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Do we know what kind of music that particular band plays?
They are described as psychedelic space doom rock.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dig it.
That's
Yeah.
a new genre that I've never heard of before.
Yeah, it's the band like The Sword, they're kind of the
Nero.
what's Fu Manchu or
That's a mustache.
that is a mustache. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other bands in that genre, and I'm drawing a blank right now because I wasn't prepared for this. Anyways, kind of sludgy rock.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All right.
very heavy. Lots of nerdy stuff. They got a song called Tokyo Colossus, which is totally about Godzilla.
Nice.
Fantastic.
There's a song that's totally just about Akira. So lots of cool nerdy stuff. There's a song about specifically.
So perfect for Comic-Con.
Perfect
Yes.
for Comic Con.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. So
Well, I dig
let's
it.
talk about Comic-Con then.
Hey, let's do
Yes. So I guess I wrote down some questions and some stuff.
Sure.
But what was your guys' first con you ever attended?
The first con I ever attended was San Diego Comic Con in 2005. It was my birthday weekend, and we thought, hey, this would be a fun thing to go do as a family. So it was me, my mom, my brother, and my mom's boyfriend at the time. We rented a car. We drove up to San Diego, got a little hotel room that was like a couple train stops away from the convention center. Excuse me. And just kind of walked up with no passes. We were in line for a couple hours waiting
Yeah.
for them, but we walked up without anything. We were like, hey, whatever, it's Comic-Con. We don't know how this goes.
You're still able to do that in 2005?
In 2005, we were able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time I went back in 2009, you were not able to do that.
Yeah.
So, San Diego Comic-Con has exploded quite a bit in popularity
it's
over the
gone.
last couple decades.
It's gone crazy.
Yeah. But it was...
And ironically, gotten away from the comic part of it.
Yeah. A lot of the Comic-Cons are getting away from the comics, which makes me sad.
Yeah. Which I understand why suddenly now we have Fan Fusion here in Phoenix.
Right.
It does make sense for the name change aside from the legal aspects of it.
Right. Right.
But also
Yep.
because it's more than just about comic books.
All right,
It is more of a pop culture
It
convention.
is.
Yeah.
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 So what about you, Josh?
I believe it was San Diego Comic Con when I was a kid. I could be wrong on that. I was a little kid. I know we were on vacation in California. I'm pretty sure it was San Diego.
Okay.
We went to. I remember my dad taking me. Talking about us going to the convention and stuff like that. And I was 6 or 7.
Okay.
I was still fairly
Yeah,
young. So
yeah.
I was on vacation. I know I was in San Diego, and we went to a convention.
So we're
Or
talking
comic
like
books.
mid to late 80s?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly that it was San Diego Comic Con, but
Sure.
we were in San Diego and we went to a comic book convention.
And it was the summer.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
in
Okay.
a really big place.
Okay.
But at this time, it was just full of comic books.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember just walking in and just this gigantic open floor, and just my little kid perspective, I still thinking back on it, just seeing an entire just ocean of boxes of comic books and stacks of
I want to
different
go to
things,
there.
and just I remember a giant mural display thing of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Somebody had
Wow.
a giant thing of it in their stuff, and they were doing a lot of the books then, and a couple of the people that were, I don't remember if it was artists or writers or who it was. I just
Sure.
remember somebody behind the desk, you know what I mean,
Yep.
signing
Okay.
stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And, just, I was a little kid, bought my, Pop got me a couple comic books and stuff, and we just walked around and oohed and awed and stuff. And,
Yeah.
they had a couple people taking, in like a Spider-Man costume, taking pictures with kids.
Sure.
And stuff.
Yeah.
It was old con stuff, so it
Yep.
wasn't, cosplay wasn't as crazy as it was.
Right.
And stuff,
Right.
just not like they are today. It was,
Right.
It was literally just about, like, the comic book industry.
A convention
at the time.
for comics.
It was,
Yes.
it was, like back in the, if you ever pick up any back issues of comics, kids, you'll see in there, there will be these order lists, and it'll be like these warehouses talking about being at these comic book conventions.
Yep.
And you can order X amount of comics from our warehouses and stuff like that. And you go there, and those places
Yeah.
will have these gigantic floor spaces just with ridiculous amounts of
Wow.
boxes and boxes and boxes of comic books. Like just
That's cool.
anything you wanted to find, you could usually find it at a comic convention at the time.
Yeah, even
if
by
you had the money.
even by 2005, San Diego was quickly turning into more of a pop culture convention.
Yeah.
I remember there being a lot of weird stuff. I do remember going and Rob Zombie had a panel, and he was talking about whichever movie had just come out that year. I think it was House of a Thousand Corpses.
Sounds about right.
And we caught the tail end of that panel because we were going to the live read of the Teen Titans animated series panel.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
My brother
okay.
and I were. And so Scott Menville couldn't make it, the voice of Robin.
Oh.
So he was replaced. I think Andrew Romano just read Robin's lines. And Hellboy, what's his name?
I don't.
The guy
Ron
that's-
Perlman?
Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman's
okay.
the voice of Slade in Teen Titans.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I always forget about that.
And he couldn't be there, so he
Oh,
got
no.
replaced by Rob Paulson.
That's even better.
Which was fantastic. And then Hynden Walsh was there for Starfire, and Tara Strong was there to be Raven.
Yeah.
Greg Sipes was Beast Boy, and he came out in a Yoda hat because it had the green pointy ears.
That's fantastic.
And then Cyborg is Carrie Payton, and it was 4 of the 5 Titans, right? And they did an entire scene. They did a scene from an episode that hadn't aired.
Oh.
Okay.
And then they showed us that episode.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was the one that was
Dude.
debuting that night on Cartoon Network.
Oh, that's neat. That's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah. And it was like
See,
right.
those are one of the things I like about the conventions
Yeah.
nowadays. They do a lot of that stuff for the fans
Yeah.
and everything. You get to
Oh,
see all
yes.
extra sneak peeks. Sometimes I hate it a little bit, though, because you'll like see these panels on YouTube.
Right.
And they'll be like, all right, we're going to watch this clip.
And
then
it's
it
over.
goes to black for a second, and it comes back, and it shows like the crowd going nuts, and
Right.
the actors or whoever,
But you
the
don't see the
artists, whatever,
video.
up there.
Yeah.
And like, oh, you don't get to see it for 3 more months.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you find some random person that was shaky camming it, hiding with their cell phone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
Yep.
But in fairness, that is, one of the perks of going to the conventions is you get
Yeah.
to see stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I remember it was that they showed that episode, and then that was the end of season 4, and I think it was the second to last episode was airing that night. And then they had the teaser for season 5, which introduced the Doom Patrol, and it was the first time anyone had seen the Doom Patrol animated in
Nice.
That's really cool.
Glenn Murakami style.
Nice.
So that was super exciting, and the whole room erupted because
Oh, yeah.
it's San Diego Comic Con. We're
Yeah.
all giant nerds.
Yeah.
Yep.
so
We're all
Everybody there
giant
know
nerds.
who Doom Patrol is.
Right, right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was really cool. Also, I got to see Rob Paulson do voice acting live on a character he doesn't do.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Yeah,
Because
and
I
Yeah, go ahead.
I've actually met Rob Paulson.
Have you?
Oh, right on.
He is such a
I think I knew that, and I think I'm still jealous of you about that.
Yeah, so a little bit of story on that. During my senior year of college, I had to do a senior project, and I decided to do a voice acting workshop. So, I put it all together. I found the space. I rented it out. I, charged people to come and do the workshop. 6 people showed up.
Okay.
But I managed to get
Still.
people to show up, and
Yeah.
the
6 people showed up. That's good.
Yeah.
no, it was good. I think I invited over like 30 though, so I was like, but yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mathematically.
Yeah, but the teacher that I was working with that, helped me and everything get all this together, he had contacts with a guy named Zach Hanks. I can't remember Zach's last name. I'm so sorry, Zach, if you listen to the show.
He doesn't.
But he's a video game voice actor. I mean, he might. You never know.
I could be wrong. Listen, hey, Zach Hanks or whatever, if you're listening, please email us, atomicmonsoon@gmail.com. Let us know you're listening, and I will eat my words. Live at Comic-Con next week at our
There we
panel.
go. There we go.
Or
So-
Fan Fusion, whatever it's
Whatever
called
it
this
is.
year.
Fun
But so there was Zach, and then who does like video game voice acting, and
Okay.
then he also knew Rob Paulson.
Sure.
So when I finally got an email back from Rob saying like, okay, yeah, no, I'd totally love to do this and everything, I'm like, great, here's the plan, blah, 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 blah. How much do I need to, how much do I need to charge you for this? He's, I'm like, I'm not going to
Yeah.
have him do
It's
this.
Rob
I'm not,
Paulson.
I'm not going to ask him to do it for free, but so I need to know
Yeah,
how much
yeah,
it's going
yeah.
to cost.
Right.
He's like, oh, no charge.
That's
and,
cool.
And you were like, "Hello, nurse."
Exactly. But no, he came on, he talked. It was probably hands down one of the coolest things ever.
That's
so
awesome.
I want him to come to a Phoenix Con so I can officially meet him in person and thank him for that.
He was going to come a couple years ago.
I know he
and he was
was.
scheduled, and then he got throat cancer. So, which it's in remission. He's fine.
Oh,
he's
I was like,
gotten
good
over
Lord, I
that.
didn't know
Yeah.
about that.
That was the year of all the other chaos that I'll tell that story soon.
Yeah,
but
I was so excited because all 3 Animaniacs were going to be there.
Yep.
Right, and then
that was the year that I also did the voice acting workshop. Too.
oh, was it?
So it would have been like perfect.
Yeah. So
I think. I could have my ears wrong.
I'll just say yes. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was super hyped to meet him and Jess Harnell and oh my goodness, why am I blanking on Dot's voice actress? She's done everything.
I don't know.
I can't think of her name
Oh
right
my
now either.
god.
It's going to bother him now.
Oh, it's gonna bother me so bad. Tress McNeil.
There you go.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
glad you found it.
And then she pulled out, and then he ended up getting cancer. So I was like, oh, well, I guess. And then Jess was like, well, if the other two aren't going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think I got sick that year, too.
So,
That's a bummer.
but
It's a bad story.
yeah.
Let's talk about something happy.
so my first con.
yeah.
So my first con was not a fancy dancy Comic Con like, San Diego.
Sure.
Or Phoenix.
Okay.
Or anywhere else. My first con was in Chandler, and it was called the Chandler LibCon.
Oh, I know LibCon, yeah.
It's like a lot of different libraries in the area will hold their own little convention and everything.
Yeah.
So Chandler one year decided to hold one, and my friend that I was close with at the time, me, her, and her brother, went to this convention. Oh, the air just turned off. Me, her, and her brother just went to the convention together, and it was a lot of fun. Like it was the first time I tried cosplaying. I
Okay.
did an okay version of Sango from Inuyasha.
Okay.
All right.
But I had an overall amazing experience. There was
Excellent.
a Star Wars versus Star Trek panel where I got to go up and reenact a scene from Star Wars because literally nobody else in my group of people that I had to work on the scene with knew any of the dialogue from Star Wars.
Oh.
So I was like, well, I got it, guys.
Yeah.
And it was probably one of the first times before I did theater in high school that I really came out of my shell.
Cool.
Oh, right on.
So it was really cool. Yeah, I know, but I really enjoyed it. But I also look back on it and go, God, I'm glad I never went back because it was only okay in other aspects, but it was still a lot of fun.
Sure, yeah.
And that was like 2009, 2010.
Okay.
All right.
The next con I went to was in 2014,
Okay.
so it was a while later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I had a 4-year gap as well. I did 2005 in San Diego, and then I think I did 2007 in Phoenix, but I went back to San Diego in 2009.
Okay.
And getting there was an interesting story because my buddy and I were just like, hey, it's Comic-Con weekend. We ain't got anything to do. Let's go to Comic-Con. And, like, again, no passes, no anything.
Nice.
And we just drove west and then north.
Oh, wow.
And ended up in San Diego. And he was like, hey, where's the convention center? I was like, I don't actually know. And this was before either of us had smartphones.
Oh.
So we were sitting there with our flip texty phones, and we were like, we don't know where to go. And he goes, hey, open up my duffel bag. And I was like, okay. And he just pulled out the binder. Yeah. And we used to play WWE Raw Deal, which is a wrestling trading card game.
Yeah.
One of the things in Raw Deal is you could set your match in a specific city.
Oh my God, no way.
Right. One of the cities happened to be San Diego. So he was like, pull out the San Diego card. And I was like, all right. So I pull it out, and the convention center's right there. He's like, is that building right? And I go, yeah, that's totally the convention center, because I'd been there.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, let's see. It's next to the water. Cool, we're going to keep going west. And like 10 minutes later, we were there.
That's amazing.
Now, this particular friend was an Army Ranger, so he was really good at finding things.
Okay.
But literally, we were just like, we're in Phoenix, we're going to San Diego. I guess we're going west and a little bit north.
And now you're at con.
And then we were lost in downtown San Diego. We're like, I don't know where we are. And then he looked at a picture on a playing card of a wrestling card game, and we got there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Take that,
That's a
iPhone.
Ranger.
Yeah, right? So, if you're not friends with an Army Ranger and you're going somewhere, I recommend making friends with an Army
Yeah,
Ranger.
definitely.
Yep.
And just
So-
make friends with one anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not,
So,
it's not really bad advice.
so continuing down the con path, what is your favorite memory of con?
Oh, maybe that one?
That one where you had
was
the
a pretty
playing
good
card?
one.
That was a really good one.
Josh, do you have a favorite memory of a con?
Yeah, probably just getting to meet Michael Turner.
Okay.
Ooh.
By far my favorite artist of all time when it comes to comic books.
So for anyone who's not listening, you can very quickly Google Witchblade was Michael Turner's first big series.
Yep.
And then he created Fathom, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. And worked on everything. Like everybody had to do covers for everything.
He did that.
Love it or hate it, he had a very distinct art style.
Yes.
A lot of it had to do with the female form.
Sure.
Again, love it or hate it. He had very distinct, very unique art style.
Can I be a hipster about this and say I liked a lot of his older work? I legitimately liked his Witchblade stuff and some of the Fathom stuff. And by the time he was doing the Batman, Superman, and introducing Supergirl, something changed in his style.
He had cancer.
But
life-changing kind of stuff happens.
Did he have the cancer by that point?
I believe so. By the time he was at DC,
all right,
I'm pretty sure.
Now I feel like a jerk.
I could be wrong, but I believe so.
Specifically, and this is going to be very strange, it was the way he drew abdominal muscles changed. And I liked the older way and not the newer way.
And I feel like he tried to do too much of a Jim Lee style with his abdominals at that point.
Could be.
He was trying too hard to match other
And I'm not saying it was bad.
No.
I'm not saying that anyone should dislike Michael Turner. I'm just saying
Superman run where he introduced Kara back into the universe.
Yep.
That set of books is some of my favorite as far as comic books like that. Excellent. Like 6 issues.
Yeah.
I can't. It's hard for me to point at a better set of comic books than that I like
interesting.
more.
Okay.
I love that, just that story arc and his art in it and just the way he portrayed everything, just the emotion that you get from those. I mean, there's a panel where you have Superman, Wonder Woman, an entire beach full of Amazons. Batman's got a Amazon axe in his hand, and they're all squaring up against a beach full of Doomsdays.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's drawn by Michael Turner. So it's one of those, it's a pretty epic freaking comic book.
That's fair.
Michael Turner draws a spot where Batman is fist fighting going against Darkseid. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
That's the series that got turned into the animated movie. It was Superman, Batman, Apocalypse.
No, Apocalypse. Yes, Public Enemies was the first 6 issues of the Batman, Superman, and then the second one,
the Apoklips.
Yeah, the first set had to do with Lex Luthor going crazy and him no longer being president anymore. And then the next set had to do with
Darkseid and
why
Apocalypse.
he was going crazy, and then Apocalypse and all that. So.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Good set. But Michael Turner, super good guy.
I never got a chance to meet him, but the stories I heard about him were all positive.
So. When I got to meet him, he was just kind of hanging out. He had just gotten done drawing something for somebody. There was no other buddy else sitting there, and I bought a copy of Identity Crisis, and got him to sign it, and we talked for a while.
He did draw that,
and just we BS'd for a bit, and I just got to pick his brain for a little while.
Yeah,
nice.
And, he was a super good guy. And just just asked me to sit down and was real passionate about like hearing my love of a lot of stuff, because I was just kind of like, hey, this issue of Witchblade when you drew this, and he was just like, oh yeah, what? Just kind of
right. And for him, it had been 10 years since he'd drawn that.
Yeah. So I think he had a little bit of fun with. This guy's a real big fan. I want to talk to him, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I had a fan because I was, fun because I was a big fan. So it worked out well for me.
Yeah.
And it's a fond memory I have because I'll never get to experience that again. Unfortunately. And plus, he's one of the best artists of all time, in my opinion. So it was cool also getting to see him sit there and draw stuff for other people.
Yeah,
because
that's super fun too. I have a similar story. I have another favorite story that I want to share, but it's it's like an after party story.
That's still fun.
But in San Diego in 2010, my brother and I were just walking around, right, and the two of us and that Army Ranger buddy all went that year.
Yeah.
And got passes.
Okay.
And knew where we were going. But yeah, we were just kind of all walking around. My buddy had gone off and do his own thing. My brother and I were just walking around, and we went past the heavy metal booth, and I was like, holy crap, that's Kevin Eastman. Just sitting there, not doing anything. No one's coming up to him, right? And I was like, dude, that's Kevin Eastman. He goes, the Ninja Turtle guy? And I was like, yeah, the Ninja Turtle guy. Like, the guy that drew the first Ninja Turtle.
Ninja Turtle guy.
Like, listen, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird are the two guys that created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
But it started because Kevin Eastman drew a goofy sketch of a turtle with nunchucks strapped to his arms.
Nice.
So, the Ninja Turtle guy was just sitting there. And he was the editor of Heavy Metal at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And
I forgot about that.
He might still own the publication. I'm not 100% sure. But he was just sitting there at the Heavy Metal booth, just chilling out, not doing anything. And I was like, so we're going to go talk to Kevin Eastman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? And we just went up and we're like, yo, Kev, hey, thanks for the last 25, 30 years or whatever of entertainment. Like,
Yeah.
We grew up on Turtles. Like, it literally came out the year my brother here was born, like the cartoon, at least.
Wow.
Like, yeah, like, we have been effectively lifelong fans. I bought his Ardo biography.
Nice.
I bought the collected version of Body Count, which is the super violent Raphael Casey Jones story.
Okay.
That Simon Bisley drew. I have all the issues of that now as well, but I bought the collected edition from him and got both of those signed. I might have got some other stuff signed.
That's cool.
And that was a lot of fun.
That's
and then
really neat.
because we were there all weekend and that was Friday night, the next day I went back over the evening. I pulled out one of my backing boards and I just drew a quick turtle sketch and handed that to him.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And was like, hey, listen, thank you. And in exchange for all the turtle stuff you've given me, here's something I can give back.
Yeah.
And then he agreed for free to draw on my Avengers sketch cover a Captain America Ninja Turtle.
That's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I have that memory, which is,
Yeah.
not that Kevin Easton is like one of the best artists of all time, but he's definitely one of the most influential
Well, I mean,
comic
it's
artists in
like,
popular culture.
Even with me, and I think Michael Turner is one
Sure.
of the best of all time.
Right.
There's a lot of people that
No, for sure.
disagree with that
And
big time, and that's fine. That's
art
their
is
business.
subjective.
You know what I mean?
Beauty's in the eye of the
Like,
beholder.
Yep.
Exactly.
We're all allowed to disagree on
everybody's
that.
Likes different actors, different artists,
Right.
all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So,
I'm just saying, like, I don't think
Kevin Eastman's
Eastman's
like no matter how you feel about his individual drawing, the
Right.
Ninja Turtles are a cultural phenomenon.
Right.
They
And
literal cultural phenomenon.
they had a little bit of time in the late 90s where they went away for a little bit. Otherwise, they haven't gone away since that cartoon started in
Did they?
87.
It's true. No, they still have
Did they?
cartoons.
Well, there was nothing being published and there were no TV shows. So
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Fair
like,
enough.
yeah, there's something Turtles related has come out every year since 1984.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So, yeah. Actually, at
And
Comic
even when
Con
they weren't
in
being published, like it's
Portsmouth,
not like
New
they
Hampshire.
were gone from the pop culture
Right.
landscape.
People still
'cause
knew what they were.
There was still stuff in syndication, and
Yep.
the movies were still on reruns.
Right, and every
you know,
arcade still had one of the 4-player arcade machines.
Yeah, exactly. And they
So-
were still putting out Ninja Turtle games on every system and
Right.
relaunching them every time. Like,
Right.
It just
Yeah.
they've all like since they started.
Yeah.
they've always been there.
much.
somewhere,
All right, neat.
shape or form.
Yeah. How about you,
Right.
Stephanie? What's your favorite Comic Con
So-
memory?
Yeah.
I have a few good memories. I think I might save a couple of the stories for because I have another one on here that talks
Sure.
about talking about celebrity encounters and
Okay.
such. I think my favorite memory is the year of the chaos. So
Okay.
in 2017, you guys know this.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
know what happened at PCC. This is when Phoenix Con was still referred to as Phoenix Comic Con.
Right.
Just before the name change and then all the other legal stuff that happened. But for those of you that may not know what happened that year, on the Thursday of the con, some guy showed up and kind of with a bag full of weapons, live ammo, all that, ready to
Oh, right.
kind of ruin everybody's weekend.
Yes, someone snuck past security with the
Yep.
intent of attacking Jason David Frank,
Yep.
who you would probably
And-
know best as Tommy Oliver, the Green Power Ranger.
Which
Yep.
of all the people to be upset about,
Yep.
Yeah, first of all, one of the Power Rangers. Second of all, the dude's got like 4 black belts. Third of all, the guy's in the National Black Belt Hall of Fame.
well, not only that, but like,
Like-
I mean, if there's any celebrity that I can honestly be like, I've never seen anything bad about that guy. I've only ever seen him like doing charity work
Right.
and reprising a role he doesn't need to reprise.
Yeah, and for free a lot of the time. 'cause-
well, yeah, just like random appearances and it's
Yeah.
just it's you upset at him.
Right?
I don't know what his beef
But, hey,
was with
mental
him.
health?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mental health is a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so because that guy happened,
Fortunately, he was caught.
He
so
was caught.
No one
He
got
was-
hurt.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yes.
happened.
Phoenix Comic Con at the
Security
time.
did their job.
Yep.
Security did their job.
Yep.
There was a slight overreaction from the Phoenix Police Department
And the convention
and
center
the convention
itself.
and the convention center itself.
Yeah.
That resulted in the
Well,
following.
with the political climate and stuff. I mean, it's hard to
There-
say it was an overreaction.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on. Either way, it resulted in they released that Thursday night that there was a prop ban, which
Right.
means you couldn't bring any props in. Like they weren't even allowing stuffed animals. Like that's how far they were saying
Right.
no.
So
Yeah.
no weapons for your cosplay.
No
No, fake guns
weapons.
if you're Deadpool.
no wands
no-
if you're Harry Potter. No
Right.
stuffed animals if you're dressing up
No oversized mallets if you're Harley Quinn or Ramona Flowers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
literally, you're
Nothing.
not allowed to carry anything except the water bottle and the bag on your back, practically.
Right. Which is all I ever carry anyways, so I was
there you
fine
go.
with that.
But
Cash in my pocket to buy a book. If I see
so
one.
Yeah.
this
That's
was
all I
a
take.
this is a problem because my lightsaber group that I'm a part of.
Oh yeah,
had-
lightsabers are props.
Yes, and we had 4 shows that year. We had our exhibition, we had our 2 kids shows, and we were also performing halftime at the Masquerade costume contest.
Yeah.
We were losing our minds
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah.
We were in Tilted Kilt in tears because we thought we were going to
no.
lose everything we had worked so hard for over the past
Oh,
few
man.
months.
Oh man.
And then Friday morning happened. We get the magical phone call from our amazing contact at con saying, "Hey, we found a way to get your lightsabers in. And you can still do your panels."
Hooray!
But Masquerade wasn't a for sure thing, but we got that secured.
Yeah.
So we're like, "Oh, thank God."
Okay.
Oh, like we're like,
Okay.
deep breaths,
Yeah.
wiping the sweat.
Did they classify them as performance equipment?
Technically, yes, but we had to take it through a different entrance, and security had to escort it all the way to our room.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay,
mean,
now that is a bit overreaction.
Like, I mean, that's unfortunate, but at least they found a way to make it work.
yeah.
and so
yeah.
what we did is the moment we found that out, the first thing that we did was like, all right, cool. If you guys, we literally did our exhibition, which is like a large performance for like an hour of just a bunch of different choreographed routines that we do. We're literally like, hey guys, doesn't matter what you're wearing, street clothes, other cosplay, doesn't matter. If you're okay with using somebody else, one of the loaner sabers, and unless you need something specific, come and find us. We're gonna put it in the saber bag, and we're gonna bring it in that way.
Yeah.
So we literally kept it minimal to what was in that bag.
Yeah.
Thank God that worked. His exhibition went well. The kids shows went well. Everything went well on that end. And then we got word on Friday after our exhibition that Masquerade's back on. You can do Masquerade, which
Cool.
is another like awesome, great
Yeah.
job. And then Saturday night came, and something else interesting happened. So we're at the Masquerade. This is a long story, I know, but it was a roller coaster of a weekend because
Okay.
I also had a head cold that weekend too. So
Oh,
it was the
good.
worst. I actually lost my voice for 3 days.
Oh no.
And managed to get it back in time for the kids show. It was great.
Hey kids, you want to run a
Yeah.
lightsaber?
Maybe not that bad. But no, so Saturday night the Masquerade happened. They're doing their thing. We're all working on our fights, trying to get the nerves out. And we're going out on stage to do our Masquerade performance. So fight after fight is going out there. And at one point, the coordinators who are running the Masquerade come up and say, "Hey, we have to cut it short. The judges' answers are ready." Immediately, 2 of our members of council go to them and say, "Okay, if that's the case, we have one more fight you need to do." Because at this point, we had maybe 2 left.
Okay.
Yeah.
When they came over
Yeah.
and said this, we had 2 left. Like, fine. They weren't going to do their fight, but they said there's one more that has to happen.
Okay.
And they're like, "Why does this has to happen?" They explained the reason why. So now they're running all the way around the back of the room to inform the guy running sound, "Hey, skip the next song, go to the last one," which is the Anakin versus Obi-Wan theme from episode 3.
Okay. Needed the high ground.
Connor-
This is your fight, right?
This is my fight.
Okay.
This is the
I
fight.
think I know how this story
This
is.
is the fight I had with my boyfriend at the time.
Aha.
Both of us take the stage.
Uh-huh.
We're both doing the fight
Yep.
at full speed.
Uh-huh.
To give you an idea, that song is already fast to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're both dead at the end of that fight
Yeah.
when we're not nervous. I was nervous because I'm like, okay, I'm on stage. I got to remember everything that's going on. He was nervous for a different reason.
Yeah.
So the way our fight was supposed to end, the way we choreographed it to end was after I'm like bashing down on him with my saber, I disarm him, I go in for the kill, he twists me around, pulls me in for a kiss, and then is supposed to kill me
With your
and-
own lightsaber.
with my own lightsaber and then
Okay.
walk away.
Okay.
So he pulls me in for the kiss.
Yeah.
Suddenly I hear douche, 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 douche running across the stage and then running back. Something gets pressed against the small of my back. Next thing I know, my saber's on the ground, he's on one knee, and he proposes to me in front of 1,500 people.
Nice. Well done, sir. Well done. Well done.
So yes. So like
So
I
how'd
said,
that work out?
we've been married since November. So.
Hey, so it worked out pretty well.
But yeah, no, it was like that. Like I said, that weekend was a freaking roller coaster because I was sick, and
Yeah.
then the whole stuff with the weapon ban, and then the
Oh,
thing with
boy.
our shows, and then
Yep.
the proposal. By
I'm
the
sure
time
he's
that-
sitting there going like, crap. We gotta
Oh,
do
no,
one more,
he
we gotta
was
do one more, we gotta-
So I went to the bathroom Thursday night when we found out that we were not going to have our shows anymore, to blow my nose, because like I said, I had a head cold, so everything is just like, and when I went to the bathroom, he's like, shh, he's like, crap, 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 crap. And they're like, what's wrong? He tells them the plan. They're like, crap, 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 crap. So everything ended up working out, but by that time that Monday came, we were all like emotionally exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite memory.
That's in fairness, being proposed to in front of everyone at the masquerade is a pretty damn good favorite memory to have.
Yeah.
I mean, it was either that story or the one where I met
It's kind
Nathan
of hard to
Fillion,
top
but
that for con stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A proposal story, it's
man,
kind of hard to top that one.
I want to
like-
tell this story, but now I can't because it's not going to beat that one.
Please tell the story.
Okay. All right. So to the audience, I'm sorry. This story is not as good as Stephanie's proposal story, but it's still pretty damn good.
All right.
All right. So I believe it was 2013, may have been 2012. It was definitely one of those 2 years. I'm going to go with 2013. And so I had been hanging out with some friends, and then a bunch of the local artists were going to have dinner together at the Networks bar down by the convention center. And I was like, you know what? Hey guys, like I love hanging out with you, but I'm gonna go hang out with the artists and go get some art talk and try networking, whatever, right? See what I can pull off there. So we were all there. We're having dinner. I met Val Hochberg that day, who
Nice.
is going to be at our panel at Phoenix Con, or what are we, Fan Fusion?
Con
next
Fusion
week.
at this point.
I don't even know what the show's called. They've changed the name 3 times in the last 3 years.
Yep.
Anyways, Val's going to be on our panel next week, and she's fantastic. Anyways, that was the night that I met her, and she saw my Ninja Turtle wristband and said, I love playing Turtles in Time. And I said, well, we're going to be best friends. Had a great time at dinner, meeting her and her fiance Scott. They had gotten proposed. He had proposed to her at con that weekend, incidentally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lots of matches at cons.
Yep.
So dinner's ending, things are splitting up. I'm like, hey, where's everyone going? They're like, we're probably just going to go back to our room and drink. And I was like, all right, cool. I don't drink, so that's fine. So I text my buddy, and I'm like, hey, where you guys at? And they're like, oh, we're at the Renaissance, hanging by the pool. And I was like, all right, cool. I guess I'll go head over to the Renaissance. And some of the other guys were going that way. So I was like, cool, I'll walk over with you and split off.
Nice.
And I'm like, hey, where's the pool? Thinking like, probably on the basement or behind it or something, right? And I was and I get the text, #roof. And I look at one of my buddies and I'm like, this MFer just said the pool's on the roof. That's the prank you play on freshmen. Right? Like, if you're a senior in high school, you got a freshman like, hey man, you been to the pool on the roof? And I'm like, I'm going to punch my buddy in the mouth.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. Me and some of the guys go over to the Renaissance, and at that point, it's so late that the elevators are shut down. So there's just the service elevators that are working now.
That's weird.
Right, yeah. Also, it was like 11, so it wasn't even that late. But
Okay.
whatever. So I get on, like, all of them crowd onto this one service elevator. I'm like, well, I'm splitting off, so I'm going to go in this other one. And, like, I get on, and I close the door, and I realize, like, the boards are all rickety, and, like, the panels look like they're going to fall off, and, like, the lights are kind of flickery. Like, this is like a horror movie. And I'm like, all right. Oh, and right before that, I was like, hey, asked one of the guys there, and I was like, hey, where's the pool? And he goes, oh, it's up on the 5th floor. And I was like, see, I know it's not on the roof. All right, it's on the 5th floor, which is still a weird place for a pool in a hotel, but whatever. So I'm like, all right, I get up the rickety service elevator, makes it up to the 5th floor, and I'm like, all right, well, I see a vending machine and a hallway to one side of me, and I look to the other side, there's a hallway with a door at the end. And I was like, all right, well, let me try that. And I walk down that way, and I open the door, and I'm suddenly on the roof. And I turn around, and there's a pool, and like 4 of my friends sitting there. And I was like, well, I can't even be mad about this now.
That's fantastic.
So then we go, and we're hanging out at the pool, and there were like mermaid cosplayers hanging out in the pool, like just these women in shell tops and like fishtails, and they were like
amazing.
swimming around like mermaids. And then this one dude got like a couple of other like
Not
dudes.
for like,
No.
the Sheraton was like, oh, we want you here. They were just hanging out.
They were just hanging out. They
That's
were just
cool.
cosplayers that were like, no, we brought mermaids costumes to hang out at the pool at night.
There you go.
And we're like, all right, cool,
Hey.
whatever. All of them ended up going back to rooms with some guy, strangely.
I'm not surprised.
Anyway, some other guys got in there with their booze, and this
Were
one
they
guy.
mermaids or sirens?
Yes.
I'm going to go with yes.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard
Was
to tell
this
the difference.
LARPing?
It may have been, and I was not in on it. So my buddies are talking or whatever, and of course, with any combination of the group of us, pro wrestling comes up. And this one dude in the pool that's holding a bottle of vodka just swims up, like, pro wrestling? Yo, I love sweaty dudes. And we're like, what? And he goes, oh, that's what I call wrestling is sweaty dudes. And I call UFC ultimate hugging, because that's all that they are. And we ended up talking to this dude that was just drunk off his rocker for probably like an hour about wrestling, and just hearing his ridiculous philosophies on
That's
everything.
amazing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, hashtag roof is my favorite extracurricular.
There you go.
Con story. Not as good as getting proposed to, but
I mean, that story, my story is even better when you hear it from their point of view as well.
Yeah.
Because for me, I was oblivious the whole weekend.
right.
And I'm just telling what happened to me.
Yeah.
When you tell their side of the story, it's like the circus of like people going like, where's the thing? Where's the thing? Where's the thing? Where's the
Right.
thing? Like running
Right.
around back and forth. So
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
all right, I think how much time we got?
What do we got? We got like 15 minutes.
Okay, I just want to make sure we got some time still.
Yeah.
So one thing we can always do at con is meet the celebrities and check out cool cosplayers. So what's your favorite celebrity and/or cosplay story, or both?
Kevin Eastman.
Okay, Kevin Eastman.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my only real celebrity story is really the Michael Turner one.
Yeah. So the thing for me is like, listen, if you want to go to the cons, you want to meet the celebrities and stuff, that's cool. Mm-hmm. I kind of have this thing where I don't like paying people for their autographs.
Okay.
Which, listen, no judgment against people that do, but effectively you're giving someone money to write their name.
Yeah.
And often not very well. And I'm not into that. I've done some of the wrestling conventions, like I've done the Access before WrestleMania and stuff, and that's all just included with the cost. So like I kind of got spoiled where it was like, yeah, I'm going up to meet Stone Cold Steve Austin and have him write his name down and just like, hey man, thanks. And he's like, hey, hell yeah, right? And that's it. So when I went to Comic Cons and it was like, hey, here's a wrestler and I got to pay him $50 to write his name down, like, well, all right. So not my thing. Cosplayers though. There is one, I wrote down one specifically. I didn't even know you were going to ask this question, but I wanted to mention the Slimer cosplayer from several years through Phoenix Comic Con, where it's a guy who made, like, it was clearly a handmade costume. Mm-hmm. I don't know what he made it out of, but Slimer just looked like he was just goopy and drippy. Slimer from Ghostbusters, because I want to tie in this episode with last week, I guess. Mm-hmm. And the way he did it is rather than have, like, his legs walking around or whatever, he cut out part of a table. So it's Slimer with a bunch of junk food all around this little like end table, and he's got like a curtain on it, right? So he's walking around on this rolly table, and Slimer's just there like throwing things in his mouth, and it's all bouncing out and falling all over the place. And you can like kind of see his face through the mesh hole in his mouth.
Yeah.
Right? But like whatever, like in the photos, it's just Slimer.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
That's great.
Do you have any cosplayer ones, Josh, or is it just the Michael Turner story?
I'm trying to think of any like
Did you cosplay Michael
crazy.
Turner?
Well, I used to back in many moons ago do some work with. I mean, I know you do stuff with them now with the 501st, doing some stuff for kids. We used to do when the Tucson Comic Con was first started. Just some stuff with the kids down there trying to get, a couple Stormtrooper outfits or a couple Mandalorian outfits, Darth Vader, whatever we can get together. That was always fun. That's kind of like my only, other than going to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's a whole nother episode. That's really my only cosplay experience. Would be doing stuff with the 501st, just doing some of that charity work kind of stuff with kids. So
that's cool.
It's the kind of the extent of it. Like I always have grandiose ideas, like I want to do this for a cosplay, but I just never do it because I'm lazy.
Time and money,
right.
And that too, like. I really want to do one for this coming con, but I'm like, okay, where am I going to find this piece? Okay, I can't find that. Where am I going to? It's tough.
Right. I did just remember one that's a pseudo celebrity story.
Okay.
Again, San Diego Comic Con 2010. I had a lot of weird things happen that weekend. But one of them, it was the year that Nickelodeon was re-airing the first season of Power Rangers with a bunch of like extra effects added in.
Okay.
If you're not a Power Ranger fan, don't worry about it. They were just re-airing it, like a remastered version. But so as a result, like at the Nickelodeon booth, they had people in the costumes of all 5 original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Nice.
And they were taking photos with kids. Well, I looked at myself, and I was wearing black jeans and a green Hulk shirt, and my hair was in a ponytail. And I was like, well, hold on. I can't not do this. So I walked right up, and I have a photo of me in basically unintentional Green Ranger cosplay, hanging out with the 5 original Power Rangers.
That's amazing.
Fantastic.
And I was like, all right, well, I can't right? Like that's so.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it's not a true celebrity story because it was none of the actors that played the Rangers. It was obviously
Very
just
nice.
some
Yeah.
people, but it was still yeah.
Yeah, the only one that I can think of that is pretty good, and I won't say the name. I'll allude, and people can think about it. I had some friends and I. We used to have our own little indie label comic book. Nothing too crazy. It was
Sure.
Evil Robo Productions. We had fun with it.
Yeah.
It was just something we kind of did on side, published some stuff and everything. But the guys who were the artists on it, when we had our tables and everything, they would sit there and they would draw stuff for kids for free.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Adult
nice.
wanted something, you know what I mean? It cost you some cash, but just one of those like, yeah,
Sure.
here's a tip jar. If you want to tip us, great. Otherwise, your kid wants a picture of Wolverine.
Yeah.
They're going to draw him a quick sketch of Wolverine. You know what I mean? It wasn't like super detailed, like colored everything else and like that. But they'd do a quick Sharpie
Yeah,
drawing.
the
Something
couple
like
years
that.
that I did that I had a table at Comic Con, I would do pay what you want sketches.
Yeah.
Right. Like if it was a kid, I'd be like, yeah, give me $1, right?
Yeah,
'Cause-
yeah.
But if it was an
'Cause it's
adult, I'd be
kids.
like, hey, listen, give me at least a couple bucks to pay for supplies.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, you get a little kid that walks up and he's like, I want Superman, Wolverine. Okay, cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They draw
Yeah,
him a quick,
just draw a
like
little-
Superman
yeah.
with some Wolverine claws. Like, here you
Yeah.
go, buddy. Kind of stuff.
Yep.
And it was always funny because we would have a huge line of people waiting for those free sketches with their kids and everything,
Yeah.
and they'd be dumping money into the little thing, like, hey, yeah, you're giving me a sketch, like, here's some cash.
Yeah.
Like the tips and stuff. And those guys were making good money, and it always cracked me up because there was this one particular con that we were there and at the table and everything, and you look almost directly across from us, across the floor,
Yep.
and there's a gentleman that's really bad at drawing feet. It just this look on his face, like of pure just frustration.
This guy that's bad at drawing feet, is he familiar with lethal swimming areas?
I don't know anything about that. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I have no idea what's going on.
That's fair.
yeah. That was good. It took me a second
Thank
to think.
you.
I was
Thank
like, what is he? Oh.
Lethal is dead, and you
But
swim.
just this
in
look
it.
of pure frustration because, like, people were literally walking by and getting into the line that was almost to his table. What was really bad was there was a couple of his characters that were fairly popular and everything. That
Sure, right.
Kids were walking away with drawings of those characters by these other guys that ironically idolize him.
Right.
Yeah.
But are getting people
more business.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
business to draw
Yeah.
his characters that he's
Yeah.
known for with better feet. But his characters, and people are walking by with them.
I think you just killed Andy.
I think I may have.
It's fine. It's fine.
But that'll always stick out because he's a good guy. I like him. The one
if this guy-
encounter I had with him at the con.
If this guy you're talking about is the guy I think you're talking about,
Yeah. He'd be really good at drawing grifter.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this some awesome extreme kind of guy?
Yeah,
Right? If he's,
yeah.
So I've met that guy. And yeah, he's actually a really cool
If
dude.
he didn't have a fanny pack when he was younger, I would have been shocked.
What about like 14 of them around his thigh?
Well, I mean, that's implied.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
A belt of them
Right.
turned into suspenders.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And also around his thigh.
Oh my god. That's a look.
Of course.
Yes.
I believe if this is the same individual, I've met this guy. He is maybe one of the most excited cheerleaders for comics I've ever met.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
one of the best guys in comics. I love him.
Right. Regardless of how you feel about his art style.
Yeah.
Dude's a good guy. And
Yeah.
I remember reading in Wizard years ago, he was like, listen, if you don't like the way that I draw, don't buy my comics.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, so he knows.
I buy his
Like,
comics all the time.
Yeah.
I love his artwork and
Yeah.
everything. It just cracked me up because just this look on his face is just like, why am I even here right now? Right? What is what is the point of this? You know,
yeah,
it was
what's going on when these guys are giving kids free sketches?
Who are these jackwads?
Yeah.
All right.
So it's just that always be burned in my memory. Just that look on his face
Yeah.
and everything. Because it was just a classic moment. Just sitting there like watching this kid walking away with this drawing that they had actually colored because the guy had given him some cash for. So there's just all this red and black all over this thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Little kid walking away with it right towards that table. Just.
And that's the end,
It was
folks.
brilliant. Yeah.
That's
So-
pretty good.
So,
We still got like 10 minutes.
Oh man.
so I've got a couple of celebrity and cosplay type stories. I'm gonna be real
Okay.
quick with the celebrity ones and the cosplay ones because there's a little bit.
Yeah, I want to give some tips to new con goers.
That's why I plan to go. That's why I plan to be quick.
Excellent.
Because I
Okay.
also have some tips too.
Okay.
And some other news. So the very first Phoenix Comic Con I ever went to, I got to go to Nathan Fillion's panel. That
Okay.
was probably one of the
Nice.
first celebrities I ever got to meet. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. I was probably one of the only people, if not the only person, to ask him about Castle and not Firefly.
Sure.
Because I had not finished Firefly yet. So I was like, hey, tell me more about Castle. Because I was obsessed with the show. I still love it.
Yeah, no, it was a great show.
just
Canceled
so much.
way too early.
I know, I wanted more, but it's understandable when people don't like each other.
does seem to be a thing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, his
Yeah.
new show, The Rookie, was really good.
Okay.
Anyway.
Is that still on?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Anyway, though, so...
That was terrible of me. I'm sorry.
But no,
Okay.
after...
He should have been on Whiskey Tango, but he wasn't, so they canceled it.
I,
Sorry.
Anyway, so after every person asked him a question, at least the first person was like, oh, hey, I saw you earlier. He took off his watch and threw it to her. And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice because he saw her earlier. Mm-hmm. And then he did it the next person. And then the next person. And then the next person. And I was catching on. I'm like, wait a minute.
you were like, how many watches do you own?
That. So I went up, I asked my question. After it was over, he's like, would you like a free watch? I had one of the girls in line. She gladly recorded it for me. She already done hers. So I was like, hey, could you please record this for me? So she recorded the video and everything. And I went up and sure enough, he takes off the watch and he tosses it to me. After that was over, I didn't even stay for the rest of the panel. I ran to some place in the convention center, found my friends, and was like, guys, you will not believe what just happened. I told them this story 5 seconds before I nearly passed out from not breathing for 2 minutes. Because I ran, and I was full of energy, and then I said everything, and I was just dead.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say sold the watch.
Oh,
No.
no.
That watch is sitting somewhere very special because he actually engraved it with his signature.
Oh, wow. That's
so
super
cool.
So
That
it is
really
sitting
cool.
in a very safe place right now. And I love it to death.
All right.
Another couple celebrity stories is that same con, if not the con after, I met Todd Haberkorn, who voices Natsu and other anime type characters.
Sure. He's one of the Funimation guys, right?
He's one of the Funimation guys, yeah. And then I also met Todd Kane, who voices a lot of famous characters in kind of the 90s, early 2000s cartoons.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys might recognize him as the narrator from the Powerpuff Girls or Lord Monkey Fist from Kim Possible. I recognize him as Yoda from Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Of course you do. Yeah.
And so I got a cool bonding moment with him. So those are my celebrity stories.
Yeah.
Also, I got a photo with Alan Tudyk the year Connor proposed, so that was also cool.
Oh, nice.
Yes, because he loves Alan Tudyk, and I'm like, yes, K2SO.
Well, I mean, who doesn't?
I mean, right? Yeah, he's in everything.
Yeah.
My cosplay stories, I've seen a lot of really cool ones, but I think one of the best cosplays I've ever seen is what inspired my husband to make the costume he's making for this year's con. There was a guy in 2017, 2 weeks after the SNL sketch, where Melissa McCarthy as Sean Spicer was driving her podium to go meet Trump at the golf course. 2 weeks after that happened, some guy took his Sean Spicer SNL costume and put it on a motorized scooter and went around con and nearly was running people over.
Nice.
Fantastic.
There you
It
go.
was probably
That's a
one of
good
the best
pretty good.
cosplay experiences I've ever seen. I'm like, I gotta get a photo of this. This is great.
That's a good one.
I don't remember if it was 09 or 10, but the year of the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, there was a guy cosplaying as Aquaman covered in oil. And it was very sad. And then I don't know if that was 09, then it was that. If the next year or later that weekend, I saw another guy doing Namor covered in oil.
Yeah.
Oh, good
And I was
lord.
like, oh boy, thanks BP.
Thanks, guys.
dude.
So
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Hey, so if you've never gone to a Comic-Con before,
yep.
I've been going for 15-ish years, and Josh has been going apparently his entire life. And
Well, I mean, I didn't go.
I'm entering into my
there was
fifth
There was
year.
a giant gap there between me being a
Sure.
little kid in San Diego
Right.
and then me having graduated high school and started going to college.
okay, fair enough.
Big gap.
Yeah.
And this is my 5th year. Yay.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, I don't think I went to another con until the year 2000.
Okay.
So that was a big gap there.
Yeah.
I mean, 5th year for going to Phoenix, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But also there's a lot of other cons in between there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I just wanted some quick, easy tips that we can help everyone's con experience go a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yep.
First of all, sleep.
Yes, please get sleep.
Get rest.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're excited. I know you have all these big plans.
I know you want to go drink, play cards, have fun, but
get some sleep, man. It's a con. It'll be back next year. You'll get to do it. It's
Yep.
not the end of the world if you miss something.
Yep.
Right? be rested
Yeah.
because
and if
no
you're more
one.
excited about the partying after the con, then sleep during some of the stuff during the day.
Yeah,
There you
If
go.
you're more excited for the panels in the morning, then go to sleep that night.
There you go.
Right.
It's prioritize a little bit. You don't
Now-
need to see every single panel.
Now we're a little lucky
go to
here
the
in
party.
Phoenix, where Monday is Memorial Day.
Yep.
So you'll get a little bit of break afterwards, and you can catch up on some sleep.
But still sleep.
Hey man, don't get at least 6 hours.
Yeah.
Right. Don't try and run on 15 minutes of a nap.
Yeah, no.
Secondly, bathe.
Please. I swear, please.
show up clean. Right, like if it's like 6 p.m. and you've been there all day and you're wearing like a Black Widow leather outfit and you're a little stanky.
That's one thing.
Like that's fine. Like we're all gonna
Especially
understand that.
because
Right.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to be 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, it's going to be a little cooler this year. It's
Well,
only
it
going to
is.
hit like
Nice.
90. Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be fantastic.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna be-
so excited.
Yeah, especially since you got a leather jacket costume going on.
Hey. Yep.
Yeah, but like if it's 10 in the morning and you smell like feet, like go home.
Yep.
Go home and bathe.
Yep.
Like listen, take a shower, take a bath, go to the bathroom and wash yourself. I don't care. I don't want to listen to your stink.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Also, I
Yeah.
will say this now. Axe is not a shower.
No. Putting on body spray does not count as a shower. That's maybe worse.
Yep.
It's not as bad smelling, but it's more offensive. That being said, apply deodorant liberally con weekend.
Yes, please.
Like, I don't care if you did bathe, just put on some extra deodorant. Use twice as much as you normally do. I'm gonna, and I don't plan on walking around the whole weekend. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be there the whole weekend.
I know I have costumes this con that, my arms will be exposed for. I'm still going to wear freaking deodorant.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that same note, hydrate.
That too.
Yes.
Drink plenty
Something I
of
have seen it a
water.
lot, especially cosplayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Yes.
seen a lot of people not being like realizing that, oh, this great costume. I'm being like, yeah, it's hot. Yeah, it's hot in there, but
It's hot,
you haven't
which
worn it
means-
for 8 hours straight yet.
Right.
It's not just hot.
It's deadly.
It's hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the thing's going to be half filled with your sweat by the end of the day. So make sure that you're very well hydrated before you go into the convention.
yeah.
Also-
and during, there's
Yeah.
water bubblers all around. Water
Yep.
Yeah.
fountains. I'm sorry, I'm from the Northeast.
I was like, is that some kind of new thing?
So what is
No,
that? What is a water bubbler?
it's
What is
just
this
what we
fancy
call them
thing
in
you
New
say?
England.
Probably
It's
like
fine.
some
It's
kind of, like,
fine. We only got 5
funky-looking-
minutes.
Like
All
a
right.
back to tank looking water dispenser.
Bring cash.
Bring cash. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
It's in the real world. A lot of places have credit card machines. Most of your vendors are going to have little square readers for their phones, but in a place with that much data going on, that many people using their phones, you cannot guarantee that the square reader is going to work.
Yeah, and anymore with every single person having a phone and them
Yeah.
all searching for Wi-Fi constantly.
Right. And a lot
it
of times
just-
the vendor hall is in the basement, which means you get really bad reception anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, like bring cash. If there's something that's like really expensive and you have to have it, cool, you can use your card for that one $400 purchase or whatever. I don't know
also,
why you're buying a $400
most
thing at a
vendors
con
are
anyways.
reputable, but there's always the
Lightsabers.
chance that something might happen, and
Right.
you don't want your card information getting
There you
used.
go.
know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
There you go.
Just because they're at a convention doesn't mean that it's
Yeah.
vetted their vendors properly. So
Right.
you always need to take those precautions.
Yeah. Always be ready.
So bring cash.
Bring cash.
Be polite to the vendors because listen,
Yeah.
Yes.
you've only been there for 20 minutes, but they've been there for 3 days with people that stink and
Yeah.
haven't slept well enough.
Yep.
And also a key at the last day, if you're super nice to the vendors and you see that vendor again the last day, they might go like, hey man, try to get rid of some stuff. I'll give you 75% off of anything else you got
Yeah.
that you might want to buy.
It's true.
Because they might have seen you earlier in the week where you're like, oh man, I really want this. I just don't have the money for it.
Right.
I'll come back on later in the week or something like that. They see you on Sunday. They know they still got that item there, but you were polite to them.
Right.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? I'll sell this to guy
know,
thing at cost.
I've
Yeah.
I've even had people do that like Saturday afternoon because I was so nice to them.
Well, see, there you go.
Nice.
Right?
There
Like
you
people
go.
are just like, I'm like, oh man, I really want this, but I'm not paying that much for it.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what? I'll knock $20 off. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do that.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's always the best.
Right. And then I paid in cash.
Yeah.
So they were
bonus
even
for him.
happier.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Speaking of that, go to Artist Alley. Like, I know we're all excited to meet the celebrities. We're all excited to go get deals on merch and stuff, but go to Artist Alley. Go meet the independent people. Go, see what they're creating. Their fan art prints are cool, but listen, everyone's going to have a drawing of Deadpool to get your attention. Ask them what they're working on. Ask them what their personal project
There you
is.
go.
Yeah.
Right? See, the thing that they're actually passionate about is the thing that they're making that isn't the thing drawing your attention.
Yep.
check out something new.
Yeah, I like that idea, yeah.
Also, bathe.
Also bathe.
Make sure that you're bathed.
I'm going to throw one in there, and this is aside from bathing and wearing deodorant and hydrating, which are like the number one rules, this is probably hands down the number one rule. Cosplay is not consent.
Yes.
So if you want to take a photo with a really cool cosplayer, please ask them.
Yes.
Please be polite about it.
Yes.
Please don't be grabby. You know, if you want to do cool poses, that's fine. If you want to like say, hey, can I get a hug? That's great. I'm a cosplayer, and
Sure.
I admit there have been kids that have come running up to me, like little itty bitty little girls that have come running up to me and given me hugs.
Sure.
That's fine. I'm like the kid. I'm
There's a
practically
difference between
But there's a difference
Yes.
between a little kid doing it and a 40-year-old man doing it.
that right there.
Especially
so,
one that hasn't bathed.
that as well. So please be polite to the cosplayers and even just the con goers as well. And if you want to take a photo or you want to do something cool with them, please be polite about it. Don't be a jerk. And
They don't owe you anything. They're not
don't.
part of the show. They're
No.
there just like you are. They're humans.
Do you do that at Disney? Do you go to the characters and do those things to the characters at Disney? No. So don't do it at con.
Yeah. Yeah. And on that
Case
note,
closed.
I think we're out of here.
Yeah, we'll
We're
see
out
you
of
at
time.
Con.
So we'll see you at least a couple of us. We'll see you at Fan Fusion next weekend, Thursday at noon.
Thursday at noon
Room
in the
223.
223 in the North Building.
Yep.
So any of you that are going, you guys can check us out there.
The wonderful and talented Val Hochberg will be joining us.
Yes, that is correct.
We may have other guests. We're waiting on confirmation.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not responding. But yes, we could potentially have other guests. Another thing as well, I'm just doing this own subtle plug myself.
Sure.
So Syndicate Saber United, for any of you that are in the area that are planning to go, we have some shows going on. 1:30 to 2:30 in room 105 West ABC. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, same time, same location.
But different shows every day, right?
Different shows every day. We're having our
sweet.
three shows, which is Exhibition, our cool choreography show called Master the Seven Styles, another Twist of the Knife, which is our first ever 10 Plus show,
Okay.
and our kids show, The Lost Hope for the Galaxy.
Okay.
So please come check out our shows. It'd be great to have you guys there.
Yeah.
And other than that, check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter. You know the jam. You know where to go. Check us Redbubble,
just
YouTube.
Find Atomic Monsoon, and we're probably there.
Yeah. there you
Also,
go.
one thing I want to finish this note on.
Yep.
Last week was the first episode where we actually did not talk about Star Wars.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But we broke it this week, though.
Yeah,
But it's a good thing we did.
Yeah. We're gonna have to try for that streak at some other. Well, we're gonna talk about Star Wars next week because Val made a T-shirt with Star
Yep.
Wars that is on Hot Topic now. So.
Exactly. But we'll see you guys at con.
All right. Have a great week. Bye.
Have a great con season. Bye-bye.